This is Aaron, and Aaron is very passionate about his project. I remember within the first couple days of BlueStamp, I went up to him and asked him, what are you going to do with your project? And he immediately said, trash sorting robot. And from then, so it uses machine learning, and from then, every time I check in on him, he'd have his machine learning model up, and he'd be showing it new pieces of trash and seeing how well it could sort it. And then he'd be fine-tuning the parameters. Every time, it would just be that, an endless cycle until he was satisfied with the result. My favorite memory at BlueStamp was probably when all the instructors in J6 were gathered around his project, showing it different items from around the classroom and seeing how it would identify them. Another thing that I find really admirable in Aaron is his dedication to detail. He puts his 100% forward. You can even see in his 3D model design work here how much detail he put into it. So, without further ado, here's Aaron.
Alright, hi guys, my name is Aaron, and I'm a student at Valley Christian High School, and this is my project, an automatic waste sorting system, or also known as two bins. So, it's kind of similar to one of those smart fridges you see in rich people's homes, where it's kind of like where you stuff electronics into something that doesn't really need it, but it's also really cool nonetheless. And this is AI powered, so you have to like it, okay? This is a new emerging technology that's really popular with everyone lately. So, without further ado, here's the demonstration. So this is cardboard, right? So this should go in the recycling bin. And if it doesn't, this is a bad person. And this is obviously plastic, and this should go in the trash bin. So if I try this, it should scan it. No, thank you. Alright. Yeah. So yeah, it does get mixed up sometimes. I think that was because I turned on glass as well. So sometimes it gets mixed up with plastic and glass because of the reflectivity. But try this. Yeah, that should go in the recycling. And now I have no way to take these out. But okay, here's how it works. Okay, so there's four main parts to how this project works. So the first part is training the AI model, as Tara was talking about. So the model is still pretty bad. I'll be honest. I'm pretty sure the devs at ChatGPT had a lot more time than me to get it all figured out. But it works for most pieces of the task that I showed it. So the way the model works is with a website called Teachable Machine, where basically you can put images from wherever on your computer onto the website, and then you can press the big train model button, and then it'll give you a fresh machine learning model that can take images, and the output will be a guess, or like an educated guess of which category of whatever you put in it thinks it is. So my categories were different categories of trash. For example, I have like cardboard, I have glass, I have cans, I have plastic, and more than that. And those are the categories that I trained on. And the images I found were from a database called Kaggle, where there's like a lot of databases where you can take the images them for free, or at least I think you can. So, and for each one, I selected 200 of the best images for each category to put in. It took a lot of time to select all those images. Yeah, and then you gotta press the big train model button and say you trained an AI all by yourself. So cool. All right, and the next part I had to do was for the code. So shout out to Tara, he actually helped me out a lot with this, especially the part where the camera takes in the images and translates it into the AI's output. So basically how it works is that there's this ultrasonic sensor here, and it constantly checks for objects near it, and when an object is in there, it'll start telling the camera to start taking photos. And when the camera takes photos, it then resizes them, processes them for the TensorFlow Lite model, which is the model that the Teachable Machine exports for, and then the model will then output a number that corresponds to the category of waste that it thinks it is. So for example, if my first category is plastic, which is category number 1, that will be the output of the model. And then I have another list where there's a bunch of, where each corresponding category is either trash or recycling. So for example, plastic, the corresponding index would be trash. And then for cardboard, the corresponding index will be recycling. And then this is what, and this now means that we can send a signal out from the Raspberry Pi into the servos behind the trash cans over here to operate the correct trash can. Yeah. The next element of this project is wiring. So one of the main reasons I chose to do this project was because I knew that it would involve a lot of wiring with all the electronic components I had with this, and like I was not good at wiring, so I wanted to challenge myself. So this compartment here is actually holding a breadboard. You can see, I don't know if you can see, but they're red behind here. So all the this sensor and these two servos are mounted to this breadboard and is powered by this 5-volt power supply. And inside of here, there's another voltage divider circuit that converts this 5 volts into 3.3 volts, so it doesn't fry the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, and these are the cables going out into the servos. Actually, that snapped this bit off because I didn't actually design a way for the wires to come out, but I guess it all worked out here. And then the fourth part of my design is CAD. I love mechanical engineering. CAD is my life. I love CAD. CAD is beautiful. I think everyone should experience CAD once in their life. But yeah, even though I spent like the least amount of time on this CAD, it was a very fun experience. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making this thing because like at the camp I was kind of like because I didn't have the shell, right? I was just like kind of like arranging the Raspberry Pi, arranging the wires to see just what I could do with the amount of space I had, and how small of a space I could stuff all the wires into this little box. And for the trash cans, I actually designed these really quickly, so they're not that good. I should reprint one of these because I got scanned on the dimensions I stole from GrabCAD. So, and even then, the servo wires are actually frayed because when it opens, it actually wears away at the rubber. I might need to fix that in the future. Yeah, anyways, one of the main challenges I had with this project was actually the model. The model's still not perfect. If you had saw me maybe before rehearsing, this recycling bin, it would never open, like ever. And because I don't exactly know why. I tried a lot of different orientations with the cardboard piece, but it just wouldn't open, and I'm very glad it opened correctly this time. Yeah, so, and even though the model's like not that good, I think it was like overall good enough. I spent a lot of time trying to pick, because it would have been a lot more accurate if I had just taken photos of me holding the cardboard in front of it, but instead I used databases from online, so nothing actually truly ever matched up with the images I was showing it. So that was another part of the challenges that I had to face when designing this project. What is it? Yeah. And as I said before, one of the main things I took away from this project was with wiring, because back then, before I came into BlueStem, I really did not know anything about wiring and like electronics in general. If I had left to my own devices, I would have fried everything by now, I think. Or either that or nothing would have been powered. So I'm very grateful for all the mentors' help in getting the wires to work and everything as it should have worked. So yeah, I'm very glad for that. And for next steps and things I want to add, I mean, we get 2 trash cans, why not 3? So So I was thinking we put a compost bin over here. So we moved the food category from the trash bin. Is this trash bin? Yeah. Trash bin to the compost bin. Because there's a lot of food waste that actually goes in the trash bin and should go into the recycling. And this is something that is actually very beneficial for the current environment. Because if we keep dumping food in the trash, this is also like not good for the landfill either. But yeah, that's some of the future modifications I'll make for this project. But yeah, that's it for me. You guys have any questions?
So we have a wire which is kind of sending signal to open the trash, right?
Yes.
Usually, you need to wireless as well.
The wireless?
You have to pull it out and then pull it out once it's filled.
Wait, what?
So
mean, yeah, I mean, you cannot, you, also you can't really put a lot of stuff in there, I would think. Yeah.
How did you go about finding trash to test your model with?
Oh, honestly, it's not even trash, because like, there's a lot of things that you can be, like, you can consider trash. Like, for example, I don't know, if I take like that thing over there, that would say like cardboard, and like, that would be plastic, that water bottle, or the can. So, there's a lot of stuff lying around at Bootstrap. I did not go dumpster diving, I swear. There's a lot of stuff you can trade. And also the images they gathered were from like online databases, so people did dumpster diving.
Have you ever thought about like scaling this project to like real-size trash cans which we can use in our house?
Yeah, but I printed this on my own printer, so like I have to pay for the filament. So yeah.
Like,
But-
have you ever thought about using like existing trash
Oh,
cans?
existing trash
Yeah,
cans?
like of like real
I mean,
size.
usually they're like, you mean like just like normal trash cans?
Yeah.
I mean, you would need a lot more than just that power supply for that, I would think. And even if not, I feel like it'll be hard to modify because everything's been like proprietarized, right? Everything's got those smooth corners. It's almost impossible to mount stuff on it. So I think, and also I think it's cooler if I make my own stuff, you know.
So what machine learning model did you use to categorize it?
So there's this website called Teachable Machine where you can put in your like images and it'll make a machine learning model based on that. It'll train a model, like a blank model, off of your images.
So it was already created model, not the classification model you used.
Huh?
The machine learning has a model which classifies. You didn't use that. This is some other built-in package you used.
Oh no, I think some other people use like ChatGPT to like identify stuff. No, this is just like it kind of just takes the average pixel stuff and analyzes that. It gives like an approximate guess of what it should be based off if it's trained. Any questions?
How did you fit the servo to the lake? You have to measure the equipment like that?
I didn't really go over this while I was presenting, but there's this website called GrabCAD where you can basically take other people's models for free. And people have models like for servos, and I just took one of them, and it actually ended up being a bad model, and I had to reprint some stuff because of it. But yeah, that's where I get my reference.